Hi team, this is Mark and just wanted to kind of make a quick video. The team is growing and not everyone is going to be able to stay on the team. I can already tell you that each week I look at who's doing what, who's stepping up and saying, I'm willing to learn this, I'm willing to take over this project for you. Excuse me, gonna sneeze, but sorry. But that's the kind of things that are important. Essentially, a couple of you maybe were on a video call with me during the week, Friday, I believe, and I conducted some training there. It's my goal to try to do that at least once a week and go over some important topics and be able to share some things with you so that you have the best opportunity to grow. But what I can't do for you is give you the enthusiasm, the willingness to learn, and the willingness to step up and say that I'm ready to work. So that has to come from you. And to be honest with you, some of you may already know this about me. I will choose that type of a person a lot of times over someone who already has the skills and the talent because I believe if you're willing and ready to learn, you can be taught. I try to make it as easy as possible and give you the steps that you need to take. That being said, I do not always know everything. It's impossible that one person would know everything. So, your workflow is what I'm making this video about today as well. So, workflow, what I mean by that is understanding that you're going to be given trainings, you're going to be learning new lessons, and you're going to also be expected to perform tasks at the same time. Just like any job, I would imagine, at least that's the way it is here in the United States. You're given the first couple 3 days kind of given some learning materials and some things to go over and some things to start doing. Maybe by the end of the week of your first week, they'll start having you do certain small steps. By the second week, they usually will expect you to be full on ready to take on jobs and tasks. And a perfect example is I started a new job recently, and by the second week, if I'm asking the questions that were covered on week one, they're probably not going to be very happy with me. My manager already has, kind of looked at me funny and wondered why I'm asking a question of something that was covered in the first week. Now, I don't mean to be cruel or hard, but that's just kind of the way the world is when you're an adult, especially when you are representing yourself working from home. A lot of people think it's easy and I'll just work from home and no more corporate world and no boss, whatever. But that's actually the opposite of the truth. When you're working for yourself at home, it takes a lot of self-discipline. You have to be able to take instructions and run with them. You can't just go to your boss every hour and say, what's this task about? What am I supposed to be doing? And I don't get it, especially when I can go back through the steps of things that I asked you to do the day before or 2 days before, and they're still not complete. Or maybe you completed them, but you didn't report them as complete. So I'm already seeing that from a couple of team members. I'm not going to say names. I'm just going to say there's already a couple of people that are doing that. So I am noticing those things. And every time I notice you for those things, it decreases the odds that I'm going to keep you on board the team. The more that it happens, the more frequently that it becomes an issue. I don't have time to pay to train you, to have you not reporting to me what you completed and what you didn't complete, and to have me have to follow up and go, oh, what happened with this situation that I had asked about 3 days ago, and you're already asking me about a new task. What should I do today? And then I look back and see that you didn't either report that you did something or you actually didn't do the thing that I asked you to do with high importance, high urgency 2, 3 days ago. Okay, so that being said, what I'm going to show you right now is something called the priority quadrant. I highly suggest that you research what this is. It is a way of saying during quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Quadrant 1 are things that are important and they're also urgent, meaning you need to do them today. You need to do them right now as soon as possible. Then there's quadrant number 2. It's important to do these tasks, but it doesn't mean that you have to do it right now. It means that maybe by the end of the day or the next 48 hours that we should really be trying to do these in quadrant 2. Quadrant 3, it says try to avoid these. They're interruptions like your Facebook Messenger from your friend, your Twitter messages, whatever that may be, that might have some value but very little and will not help you to progress towards your goals. Same with the quadrant number 4. If you see junk email and stuff like that, a lot of times now I don't even check my email but maybe twice a day. And most of the times I'm trying to look for emails from specific people, and then the rest of them are getting deleted or reviewed later. Okay, so make sure that you study these time and urgency quadrants. There's a lot of information on Google out there about them, and there's a lot of different places that have things that may make more sense to you. And keep in mind that is the other point that I was going to make is, instead of coming to me or running straight to one of your teammates and asking them questions, make sure that you have done your own research on Google. Because to be honest with you, that is my greatest fear and always has been, and why at first I did not make a team chat and I did not make a group page. It is not because I'm worried about you guys helping each other. And because I don't want you to, but it's because I'm concerned that if I give an individual a separate task from the team and I ask you to do something, I give that to you on purpose because I want to test you. I want to know what your skill sets are, how you go about completing them, and I want to know how you do it without going to your team members. So let's just keep that as another thing in mind. While the team members room and the group page might seem really good to you, trust me, I have a couple of employees that have been working with me for almost a year, and they will report to me and say, yes, I'm helping this person and it took me 2 hours to help them. That is not acceptable. If I give that task to you, you should not be taking up another person who I already gave them a task to do 2 hours of their time. If you ask something that takes a couple of minutes, I don't mind it. But if you're taking up another team member's time, now you're not only tying up the time that I'm paying you for, I'm now paying 2 people and sometimes 3 people to do the same task that I gave to one person. So if I see that that becomes a problem, I'll separate you to the teams, remove you, and I've done it before. And if I have to, I'll even go to the extremes of actually just firing the whole entire team, starting over from scratch. I have no problems doing that anymore, and I hate to sound like I'm being rude, but the thing is I have a business to run, and Yummy will tell you there was a team that I did that with because for 6 months, I paid out of my own pocket with no clients coming in every single dime of their salary. So I was going to work every single day, and my family was suffering, and I was suffering personally because I was paying a group of people that were not producing the results, and they were not producing the things that I asked them to produce. And there was a lot of excuses floating around, and I even hired team managers that did not work out. So make sure that even though that team section is there, you be very cautious about how you use it. And that's going to finalize my video here, because that's the other thing that I want people to understand is in the group page, I'm going to share more trainings, and I want to where the group team chat does not get so busy with everyone having a basic, simple conversation. It gets used for things that are of importance, priorities that need to be done today or tomorrow.